Take us away, Jordan.
I'm still covered in cobwebs because it's Halloween's post month, but I hope you all had a good month, and welcome back to the Weird Flex.
But okay podcast. Hey guys, welcome to your Comedy Weaves workouts and advice podcast where we answer your questions. If you would like to submit a question, please email us at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com, and of course support us on Patreon at weirdflexbutokaypodcast. And yeah, we're doing some fun stuff. We're doing the podcast once a month now, so that way we have time to focus on all of our other stuff.
Yeah.
And we can still bring you this podcast for the people that enjoy it. And while I'm on that topic, I would love to give a nice shout out to our $2 patrons: Michael Betters, Zaid, Kimberly Calderon, Windstorm555, The Swagnomite, Carsonator TTV, Adrian Leinard, and Joseph Grinder. Thank you guys for consistently supporting us, and thank you to our $1 patrons as well.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, if you're a $2 patron, you get a shout out and stuff, and a $1 patron gets access to pretty much everything that's on the Patreon. But yeah, it's the $2 that get you the shout out.
Yeah.
And it just helps us pay for this podcast to keep it on SoundCloud so that we can keep it free, or like free to like download and all that stuff.
Right. Exactly.
Woo!
Yes,
Hell
thank
yeah.
you.
We're here. Oh my gosh. It's
We're
such
here.
a pretty day. The world is, sometimes on fire, but relatively beautiful some days.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome.
Jordan, what
Pretty
have you
cool.
been up to? How are you feeling?
I have, so the last couple weeks or weekends, I've been catching up on Pixar movies I never saw. Because someone on Twitter asked me, like, what Pixar movies haven't you seen or something like that? Or like, what would you rank Pixar movies? And I was like, oh, I've seen this one. And then I noticed like, oh, I haven't watched a lot of these. And so like I watched like, what was it? I watched Ratatouille finally. I finished that. That was a good movie. I like that movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and then I watched WALL-E, and I love like Eve and WALL-E together. They're freaking adorable. I was like, oh, that's a cute movie. And then I watched The Good Dinosaur with Paleo and Hero. Like the last couple weekends we've been watching the stuff together. So it's like we watched Good Dinosaur, and honestly I've been hearing like a lot of crap, like, oh, this movie's crap, it's bullshit. I was like, oh god, I'm gonna go in and hate this. And then like I watched it and I was like, that actually wasn't all that bad. I love the T-Rexes in it, so it didn't bother me. Like I thought it was like a pretty decent movie. Like, I didn't see any reason to hate it. But then the following weekend we all watched Brave together, and I fucking did not like that. I watched that movie, and like I remember going into that movie, I was like, it looks pretty, looks nice. And then like just that main girl, she was such a bitch to her mom the entire time. I'm like, you nearly poisoned your mom multiple times, and you're just like, oh yeah, by the way, those are poison berries. I did a whole spiel on this while I was talking. Like that irritated me. The whole thing is like, oh yeah, my mom's a bear now. Whatever. It's just
my mom's a bear now.
Yeah, it's just
I haven't watched Brave in like years, and I only saw it once in theater, so I do not remember the film at all. But I believe you. I remember it wasn't like, it didn't take my breath away. Like I didn't walk out of that theater like, oh, I'm a changed person. I was like, okay, that was a movie.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm contemplating. I'm like that with certain movies too. Cause I'm contemplating rewatching Up, because that is the one Pixar movie I just do not like, but everyone else seems to love. And then like it's just because like I remember Owen always brings up that first 10-minute scene. And for people out there who don't know this story, but I always tell this story because it's so true. It's like I went to go see Brave with my friends in the theater, and I remember like just being like really indifferent to it. It wasn't a Pixar movie I was like super like hyped to see. I was just like, okay, whatever. And so like at the beginning 10 minutes I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get a snack or something like that. So like it's like when he meets the kid and like he meets the girl and something like that, and they're like having a relationship. I'm like, okay, whatever. So they go and they have like, they fall in love and do all that whatever stuff, but I'm already in the lobby getting like snacks and stuff like that. So I come back in, and like it turns out like that girl's dead or something. And so like I go over to my friend who's like on his phone, which shows like how great he was. It's just like, don't be on your phone in the movie theater, people. But he was like on his phone texting someone, and I was just like, oh dude, what happened? And he just like is like, oh, she fell down a hill or something. And I was just like, oh dude, that sucks. And then I just watched the rest of the movie. And so like every time I see that scene now, like everyone's always telling me like you're supposed to cry, but I just think of my dumbass friend who was so oblivious, he wasn't paying attention. Like, oh, she fell down a hill or something.
Oh my god, that's why it's called. Why isn't the movie called Down? Why is it called
Down? Yeah, exactly. Why is it called Up? Like, I don't get it. And like the whole movie was
make it
just
back
kind
up
of
the
boring
hill?
to me. So, but like that part that has no effect on me. Like I will make people angry if I watch that scene because I'm just gonna be laughing, just like you stupid.
Yeah, it's so interesting how maybe who you're seeing it with or like the environment. Like there's so many factors that can make a piece of art like a very different experience for the viewer. Like depending on how they're able to immerse, whether it's their life experiences watching it, or it's just external factors like, oh, I'm getting snacks or this or that. Like that's why movies in general, like I've noticed that my attention span has gotten a lot shorter over the years, and that like I have a harder time just really committing to like a film that I have to sit for 3 hours and watch that's like one big compact story that doesn't go into a lot of like external details, versus a show like a series. I can watch that because I can always like come back to it a few days later. Yeah, or I can even pause in the middle of an episode and I can go off and do something and then come back and watch. Like that's kind of how I live now. Right. Is consistently I always am in the middle of a show and then I just pick it back up and I can kind of go back in. Right. And yeah, like, you know, if we never get movie theaters back, I'm glad that, and I'm not even saying this just to be part of the meme, but this is genuinely what happened to me. I'm glad that the final movie I saw in theaters was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. That was a good movie. It wasn't a good, like, solid. It was like a fun movie, but I wouldn't say like, fun. Oh, this is some game brain. Like, it was a fun movie.
Like, it was my last theater experience, you know, and I don't know if we're ever gonna get the same theater experience again. Maybe we will. Like, maybe they'll make a comeback. But with the way things have been progressing, there's a high likelihood that the theater experience we know and love might be vastly different in the future. And so, like, it was like a really good time. Me and a bunch of friends went. We got like a giant plethora of snacks. We were like in recliner chairs. Like we went to a fancy theater to see Sonic, and we were just laughing. And I think we were like the only people in the theater too. There might have been like one other couple that was like there sitting somewhere, but they were also just vibing. And we had like 6 or 8 of us. And it was a really great time. And like, I'm glad that in the before times, I got to have that be kind of my final memory of a really good theater experience.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And now, like with streaming and stuff, like me and you finished The Good Place recently.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
That was a beautiful show, but also I think what made it such a great experience for me was getting to watch it with you. And like even though it wasn't a traditional Halloween, it kind of made my Halloween better.
Well, because it was death and demons.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
there you go. That was a traditional Halloween to me.
But we got to just spend the whole day just like watching that show together. And then like when it ended, it was like really beautiful. But then like we could talk about it, and it was like,
yeah, it was a fun time. That was a good time.
That was a good ass day and good ass show. And like, yeah, good shit. Highly recommend to our viewers, if there's some cool ass shows you want to watch, or even some bad shows that you just want to try, find a friend or join a Discord server where they do movie nights and just like go have fun. Like there's lots of servers out there like that.
Yeah, they're super fun. It was cool watching with her.
Yeah.
What have you been up to? Because I've been also filming a dumbbell follow along program along with my Goku Tough Like the Tunes month 2. So like I do like the dumbbell filming DVD in the morning and then the Goku Tough Like the Tunes at night. So I am constantly tired all the time.
Yeah, no, that's fair. My life has pretty much been like essentially like for Kruby, I do some Kruby stuff. So behind the scenes, we've been kind of getting some stuff in place, and like Ruby Abridged, they're finally really getting the new script ready. We got a new sound engineer. We've also potentially got someone that's going to be taking over some lip flap stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes when it comes to like abridging. And so we're actually getting some of that finalized so that we can start production on a new episode. And that's really cool. And also we have a podcast called Kruby Talk during the year, but it's Ruby season now because we're a Ruby based channel. So it's called Ruby Talk, and we do that every Sunday night around 7 CST. I think that's like 5 PST. I think
7 PST. What? Well, you're CST, right?
Yeah, I'm CST. 7 CST.
So
5
PST would be like 2 hours or something.
Yeah. So that's been really fun. We've been talking about the new episodes as they come out if you're a Rooster Teeth First member. And then we have a little Patreon Discord server that I've been like posting in for Kruby. And I've been taking over like the social media. Yeah. So just keeping up with Ruby, doing all that stuff with some of my Ruby friends.
Scissor.
Scissor me timber. It's a good ass show right now, and there's some good ass characters, and you are correct. It's beautiful, and the ships are legit. And yeah, that's one thing I've been up to. The other stuff is I've been doing auditions. I've been recording some stuff behind the scenes.
Could you imagine Yang fingering with her?
Oh my god!
I'm also, sorry. Yes, yeah, go back to your thing.
No, you're fine. Yeah. Welcome to the Weird Flex Donkey podcast. We had to talk about porn at some point.
Yeah.
Which we
It's like that thing I showed you with the guy with the massager.
Oh my god, I hate it. Oh my god, oh my god. I read an article the other day. It's a meme article, but it's it's like 10 ways mayonnaise can spice up your sex life.
That's disgusting. You're making me gag already.
It's hilarious, and it was so great. I'll have to send it to you.
No, you don't. I hate mayonnaise.
Fucking die.
Fucking passion.
But no, doing auditions, doing voicey things, doing Kruby stuff, doing podcast stuff over there. And
nice.
Yeah, living life. I got a new desk. We built that, and putting up some curtains soon. Doing some adulty stuff as well. Hanging out with people, watching cartoons with you guys, watching cartoons with some other guys. I've been
we're like the worms in Men in Black. We were talking about that the other night. It was like when Katie goes and hangs with her popular friends, and we're like the worms in Men in Black. She's just like, hey y'all, hey Kay.
My other friends are not popular. I'm not even popular. We just watch bad anime together. That's all we do.
Yeah, we know.
Oh my god. It's pretty fun. But hell yeah, that's what I've been up to, and now we're here recording a podcast, and we're gonna answer some fan questions and stuff.
Nice.
Yay! I guess. Yeah. Do you want us to go ahead and jump into it?
Sure. Do you want to start with your questions or my questions?
Yeah, I could start with one of mine, and then we can go to one of yours. And
okay.
Hell yeah. So this comes from the email. And just a reminder, if you'd like to submit a question, please email us at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. At weirdflexpod.
Or Jack's Blade Fitness at twitter.com or Connie Day Official at twitter.com. Or you can find Connie Day at Connie Day on Twitter, Facebook. And you can find Connie Day Cosplay on Facebook. And then you can find really Connie Day on YouTube, where you can find a great cover song. And then you can find me, Jack's Blade, on YouTube as well, and you can find me on Instagram.
I know where you live.
Connie Day Official on YouTube. You can actually find her at Kit Kat 5, but I'm gonna find it. Possibly in the past, but she changed it because she doesn't like Kit Kats anymore, but I do. So, anyways, let's go.
You. I'm gonna destroy you, everybody.
Bring it
this
on.
Is Jordan's address. It's
bring it.
Oh my god! All right, we're gonna answer this question from our lovely viewer. And
Echo Vetus.
That sent us a lovely, lovely email. It says, "Hey Corden, hey JD, my question
Who's
for both
Corden?
of you." He's a mysterious.
Who the fuck?
He's a mysterious person that's on this podcast. Corden
you call me
and JD.
Corden from now on. JD.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it.
All right,
Corden
Miss
and I'm JD. Thank you for addressing me by my proper name.
All right.
So my question for both of you is, why do kids tend to have more patience to enjoy things? Like when I was younger, I always licked ice cream slowly, but now I want to bite on it fast. Another example is chocolate. Now I want to chew it and get more, but when I was little, I had a piece in my mouth until it completely dissolved and I was satisfied by it. Fun fact that my grandmother does it, so maybe this anomaly is seen in children and older people. What do you think? Other question is fitness related for Jordan. Please give tips how to balance a handstand. I'm practicing for a year now, so I can master the handstand properly. Have a great day.
Okay. Well, first off, I'll talk to your handstand one. First off, you get into a frog plank position. If you watch my Goku Tough Light Tunes or my Rock Lee Tough Light Tunes, I explain in depth how to do it specifically. So you can build up there. There's a whole thing in the description box because I'm actually trying to get back into it too because I have this paranoia because that's how I originally broke my shoulder originally. So I'm I want to hold my handstand again without flashing back to, oh shit, you could die. So yeah, that's what I suggest. Go to my Rock Lee Tough Light Tunes and you'll see it. And first off, I don't know where the hell you're saying kids are more patient. I used to devour shit. Dude, you're talking to someone who ate his bed, ate glue, ate fucking Stretch Armstrongs. I've told this story. I don't think I've told on Weird Flex Blog. I would the toy Stretch Armstrong. The toy that you pull and it has like a stretchy arm. I used to rip that shit open and eat it like a zombie because it had like this sugary goo inside of it, which I later found out was corn syrup. But like I remember I would just like rip the head off that and just suck that shit dry, and it tasted so good.
Yeah, kids are fucking
ate my
disgusting.
friend's one. He got mad at me, and it was so fucking.
Oh my god. No, yeah, when I was younger too, I liked to chew on shit. I actually eat really fast as an adult now because
same. Me and Katie are like super fast eaters.
No,
if you go out to
we're
dinner
fast.
with us, both of our food's gone while everyone else is like
It's true. I actually have a story I've never told on the podcast. My great grandmother is Korean, and she not related by blood, but related by marriage. But she when I was younger, she would feed me really fast. She would read me very fast, and my parents and grandparents would be like, oh my gosh, if you keep feeding her that fast, she's gonna like eat really fast when she grows up. And so that's why they speculate that happened, because my great grandmother, she would feed me so quickly and so much. And so I would just scarf food up. And so now I scarf food. And my parents would always make those jokes about like, oh, why do you don't even taste your food? And I'm like, yes, I do. It's delicious. And I want to eat it all now.
Pretty much me.
So one way to kind of answer the question from my perspective, based on that story, I guess, is maybe it differs from person to person. And I think maybe it's a product of your environment. Because
I wanted to be like Goku because they ate fast. So I ate fast.
So like maybe if you grew up in an environment where maybe you didn't have as much sugar, you'd want to like maybe savor it more. And now that you're an adult, you're like, oh, I've got to eat all the sugar because I never had sugar, or something like that. Versus when I was a kid, I just had it all the time. So I guess I could I could scarf it down, and now I guess I've continued that. So I guess it could vary. I mean, I'm not a scientist on this, but that's my theory.
Yeah. Because I know for me, I do not do anything. I bite my ice cream. Though something I found out recently.
Yeah, I do that too.
We're like watching videos. Like it's just like there's something I saw that like I started to like research a bit. It was like men. Oh, it was like women. Most women, majority of women, like if you watch them eat, they pull their food to their mouth, while men most typically go to their food. Like they'll go and bite down on their food, something like that. And then I was just like, well, isn't it just because of hair? Like if you have longer hair or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I started looking into it, and I was like, oh shit, this is a common thing. Oh fuck. And then I've been like going through the vlogs, like watching all of us eat, and I'm just like, oh my god, we do that shit. It's just like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, because I think the hair thing, did you find out if it's the hair thing? Because I
think that's what it
been
is.
Something. Yeah, because that's been something for me, because if my hair is down, or even if it's in a ponytail when I have long hair, if I'm leaning down into my food, it's gonna like it gets everywhere.
Get in your food.
Yeah,
or you might accidentally eat it.
Yeah, exactly. But I know that whenever my hair is in like a big bun, I do tend to like get a little messier with my food.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about it going everywhere.
Yeah, because I know whenever I'm alone and I have a bowl of spaghetti, I put my hair in a bun and I go pretty hard. And I have,
so you just stuff your face into it.
I really do.
I know exactly what you do.
Yeah, it's like, dude, when I was a kid, like, if my mom made spaghetti, I'd be like, oh shit. And so I'd get a big bowl, and I'd bring a towel with me in my room, because I'd be like, bro, it's spaghetti time, motherfucker. Like, I would be eating that spaghetti.
Coach McGurk.
Oh my gosh.
Would you put like the thing on your like, what is that thing people put on their napkin? What is it? A napkin? They put that thing and they tuck it in their shirt before they eat, so like it spills on it or something.
No, I had just had a towel. I had a towel, and I would like put it under the bowl of spaghetti, and I would just be laying on my stomach on the bed with my computer in front of me to watch cartoons and stuff. And I would just be like gobble gobble gobble, and then I'd use the towel to wipe my face, because I'd have spaghetti all over my face. So yeah, nice. If anyone thought that little girls were dainty and didn't eat like fucking pigs, no, we do. Yeah,
she does.
If it's good, we gonna get sloppy, y'all.
Yeah, she's copied the TikTok I sent her. Ha ha.
Yeah.
We get wet. We like wet things.
We like wet.
Sorry, she was blazed out of her mind. That was funny.
My god, it was amazing.
So there you go, kid.
Hope that answered your question. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Actually, Jordan? Is there any food that you do like savor? Like, is there a particular food that you've like?
I'm trying to think.
Noticed you eat
well, no, I did savor Whataburger when I came to visit you, because I haven't had it in a while. So like, yeah, I was like eating it slower than usual because it's like, okay, whatever. I don't know when I'll get this again. So yeah, but like typically it's like a disposal. Like Saber has monitored our eating habits and stuff like that. And then he'll be like, okay, so Paleo eats like a bird. Like he eats like very like sparingly, like peckish, and then like he gets full easy. And then like Race is like, he'll eat like very slow, like very like Race eats like a cow a bit, where like a cow eating cud, where he's just like, he'll take forever. And then like me, Saber says I'm just like a hyena, just ravishingly just like just fucking just ripping it apart. So yeah, so we all have like different ways of eating. So for me, if I really like the food, it's gone fast. Like actually, if you go to Cider Fest vlog on Race's channel, there's like this whole thing where we got these cheese curds, and cheese curds in Wisconsin are just, oh god, they're orgasmic. Like me and Hero had like a religious experience when we ate them, because we were just like, oh my god, these fried cheese curds, this must be what crack feels like. It's amazing. So like the first time I had it, I was like, oh, this is good. The second time I just start like eating them, and then like everyone else gets their stuff to the table, and then it's literally been like less than a minute and my entire tray is gone. And then they're like, and then like Black Griffin, our friend Gabriel Brown and stuff like that, Black Griffin, he like looks over, he's like, you did not, you hid them somewhere. And I was just like, no, I ate it. It's like, shut up. And then like Paleo and Kari are like, was there any enjoyment of that? I was like, yeah. Of course there's enjoyment. I liked it. That's why I ate it so fast. It's just like...
Yeah, they do the same thing my mom would do. Like, do you even taste it? It's like, yes, it was delicious.
Yeah. If I had like a bottomless pit of it, that'd be so good. Like a bottomless pit, God. But then like you get like really bad constipation. So like, that's the only negative about it.
Yeah, because I think if I'm being truly honest, when it comes to food that I eat, I do at times try to like slow down if I think, okay, I don't want to get sick, so I'm going to have to, monitor like how quickly I eat this. But if I'm not thinking about it, like I
just like shark brain, your eyes roll in the back of your head, and you're just like,
because a lot of the time I prioritize like, look, I just want to get this food inside of me. I want my nutrients so I can get back to doing other things. Like I want, like, so I sometimes think of food like that. If it's a really nice dinner someone prepared for me, like
okay. I'm not going to eat like a pig at dinner, like in front of people.
Yeah. Because I think one of the big things I've noticed about myself, and I don't know if this is a thing other people do, but when I'm alone, I'm more comfortable and I can just be like, all right, I'm going to scarf it down. Or if I'm in, if I'm in a work situation where, okay, I just need the nutrients inside of me, I'll try to go off so I can just get the food inside so I can go do stuff. But if I'm in social situations, or if I'm in situations where I feel like I need to maybe look a little more proper, ladylike, those are the times when I really monitor how quickly I'm eating, is depending on who I'm with.
Yeah, so that's why I like eating with you, Katie, because we don't have to monitor. We just eat like
there's no
together.
Pretense.
We're just like scarfing shit down. Like it's like that fucking scene where like the Scar throws the hyenas like a piece of meat. He's like, it wasn't alone, Scar. It's just like,
I know. Like, because I've definitely noticed there's situations like, for example, when I'm eating like with you, where we're just like scarfing our fries down. Like I think I had even finished my food before you, and you were like, damn.
No, yeah, because like that was when we were eating Whataburger. We were eating Whataburger. And I was savoring it, and I was just like, oh, good. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
But then there are other situations where I've been like hanging out with new people, like maybe people that I thought were really cool, and maybe I wanted to like get to know them. And so I wasn't prioritizing the food as much. I was prioritizing getting to know them. And so instead of picking up like 5 fries at once, jumping them in ketchup and being like, I would pick up a single fry. Dip it in the ketchup and each one. Like I would kind of be a little more classy with my fries. Now, the one food that there's no way to do it in a pretty way, but God, do I love to just be a fucking trash gremlin with them, or nachos. Like,
nachos are awesome to do.
Nachos. I mean, if it's like the ballpark nachos where, you can get away with like the way that they're stacked, because, the cheese is kind of in a cup on the side, and you can just kind of dip it kind of like a queso. I can do that relatively daintily. But, like, if it's like Moe's nachos where they're just covered in shit, it's like,
yeah, Moe's nachos are good.
I'm going to need to be alone for this. Like, unless you want to see a monster.
Yeah. I'm also a monster, so let's just eat together.
It's true. Like, we're gonna hang out and it's gonna be like, oh yeah, if we ever did that fucking mukbang video,
it's just
it would
like
just be
animals,
disgusting.
It's just that animals, like, we're just like, you hear like noises. It's just like,
just my God. It'd be like that though. Oh my God, this gift that you sent. That's so fucking me. Dude, one day I want to do that thing where, you know how you give like a baby for their first birthday a little cake and they shove their face in it?
Yeah.
I'm going to do that one day. I'm going to shove my face in a cake. Just, 30th birthday. 30th birthday, I'm going to get a cake that I can shove my face in.
Yeah. And just like, just
yes,
grab and bite.
I'm going to motorboat a cake.
Yeah, that's good. See, if anyone ever did that to me, first I'd be like, you're brave. So second off, I was just like, yeah, you're lucky I like cakes.
No, I mean, I don't mean that I want someone to push me into it.
Oh, yeah,
I
good.
I want to
you do it
willingly
yourself.
put my face into a cake.
Oh, fuck, I did that for my 25th. Oh, shit, I did. I just remembered I did that for my 25th. Yeah, because it was just like,
awesome.
I'm 25 years old. I got my own birthday cake, and then I just like did the thing where I blew out the candle and walked away, and then I like came back and I just like, let me see if I can find that video. That was,
oh my God, that's great.
That was funny.
But yeah, all right. I think we've answered this question. Let's move on to the next one. Do we want to grab one of yours?
Sure. There's a good one. This comes from Stephanie. Hey Jax and Katie, my name is Stephanie and I have a question about fitting in with groups. So recently a new friend joined our group and they've been very sweet but introverted. So it took a lot to get them out of their shell. We all get along well, but sometimes they can be a bit overbearing. Not in a negative way, but say we talk about a subject and move on, they'll keep harping or over talking on it when we are past that talking point. My group is full of non-combative polite people that don't want to be rude. So what's the best way to go about talking them to ease down with that? With ease. Love, Steph. Oh, so this is funny. Like, this is actually, because this has happened so many times in our group. Like, this actually happened like a few weeks ago with like Saber, Hero, Palomine. Not with you, Katie. You don't have to worry about that. If you're talking, we'll tell you shut up. We love you so much now. Like, so yeah, exactly. Like, this is the thing. Like with Katie has joined our group now. Like, there's a while for a bit where like if someone new joins our group, we're just like, oh, okay, yeah, we're just talking, whatever. But then just like, so anyways, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and so blah, 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 blah. And then blah, blah, blah. And then can you believe blah, blah, blah? Katie, shut up. Wow. Okay. And then just like that. So it's just like we love Katie enough to do that. Like it wouldn't be like in a sense of like, oh, we're trying to hurt your feelings because we've gone past that point. It's like, all right, shut up.
I think
now if someone did that shit to me,
I'll be like,
who you telling to shut up? Who the fuck you are? So like, I will do that right back at you.
She's kind of asking about when a new person joins the group and like how to maybe get to that place where, everybody is comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's a lot of different strategies here for sure. Because I definitely know there have been situations where I've been the new person in the group. And my approach to be the new person. I know, I love you guys too. And my approach would be to kind of... kind of like ease into stuff and like show things little bits at a time. But I've also been the person that has introduced people to groups. Like I've also been the person that has brought someone in because, I thought that they were cool and I trusted them. And I think one thing to keep in mind with the situation is if, so let's see, recently a new friend joined our friend group. So if a new friend is joining the friend group, an important thing to distinguish is who is the person that brought them in? Who's their point of not contention. Who's their point of reference? Who's the person that was like, this person is cool, let's bring him in? Because that would be a situation where, okay, person A brought person B into the big group. And so person B is trusted by person A to be someone that's going to vibe. So there's going to be, some getting used to with stuff. But person A, I think it's their responsibility kind of in the beginning to help person B start to fit in. Because if they really trust this person, if they really think this person is going to get along with everybody, there kind of has to be that training wheel period where, people can ease into it. And if there's some discomforts, I think it's kind of person A's responsibility to kind of assist with that a little bit.
Yeah, we give them tests. Yeah, exactly. Like that's what, like, remember when Katie was first like joining our group, like I put her through the ringer of just like, all right, so let's do like a bunch of tests right here. And I was like, okay, she passed that test. We passed that test. She passed that test. And then everyone like at the end was like, oh yeah, we love her. She's great. And then like I sent Katie like this whole like Discord message of like, by the will of the horse, we allow you to join us. And it was just so funny. Yeah. But like, okay, so like, I forgot. I was talking about the thing last week. So we were talking about something last week and someone joined our like call And we were like, everything was cool and it was chill. But then like this person just kept like harping on this one thing it like brought up. And so like what usually happens, like me, Hero, Saber, Paleo, since we've known each other for like damn near over a decade at this point, we sort of just can read the room with each other and just be like, okay, this is going to like, because Saber even sent me a message like, this is getting a bit irritating, right? And it's like, yeah, it is. So what I typically do, because like, because I love the guys and stuff like that, they will like usually just like sit and be like, yeah, whatever. So what I try to do is I try to like bring the conversation to something else. So it's just like, yeah, like that was an interesting point, but like how in this and stuff like that. And then like I'd be like nudging the other guys like, come on, like help me on with this and all that. Or just, to move it along without just being like that. Cause I'm never the only person I've ever brought in. We've never had any like issues with you, Kate, or anything like that. So it's just like, it's always just like,
no.
I think someone else would like bring them in, and I always feel the need just because I know the other people aren't combative. Like there's some certain situations where I know like the other people aren't will talk, but other times I just know for a fact they won't. So if we don't, this is gonna probably go on for another 30 minutes. So I can just be the one who goes like, okay, so let's see if I can whirl this around. Yeah, that's really interesting, but what about this thing right here? Because like sometimes I feel bad, like they can't read the room, that everyone's just like, okay, yeah, this is not okay, we're kind of past this point, right? And it's just, all right, so let's do this. So I always try to just be like, okay, let's find a way to work this off somewhere else, or try to do it like in a positive way, because I know like if I brought someone in and they did, I would do the exact thing Katie did and be like, okay, look, you can't talk about like that thing for this long, because like it's just gonna be a bit annoying or something like that. Like if something like that ever happened, like it would, but like everyone's cool. But if it's just something where it's just like, okay, we're trying to move on for a topic and you are just harping on this, and it's just like, okay, sometimes we'll pull the old like Saber's like the Eddie of the group from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like he'll pull like a dine and dash thing where it's just like, I gotta go. I gotta go kind of thing. And like I'll even pull some shit where I'll be like, my phone starts ringing even though I just made it ring. I'm like, oh dude, I got a phone. I gotta go. So and then like we'll like meet up later in like another thing.
No, I know. Yeah. I guess some advice I would give though, if obviously there's strategy one of like, okay, person A is going to bring person B in because they do truly recommend them, and they're going to try to be kind of a mediator to kind of get people on the same page. But not everyone is kind of at the same social skill level. There might be some situations that kind of take some learning. And so if with person A, person B strategy, if you start to notice that person B is struggling a little bit, maybe taking them aside and being very, very passive, very like kind with it about like, hey, like, I think everybody's really excited to like hang out with you. And if you're ever feeling nervous about this or this, like it's okay. And, maybe being a little straight with them. But if it feels like a different kind of situation where maybe a new person's coming in and the grounds don't feel as solid, but maybe everybody still wants to try with this person. But, maybe you're not like best friends that have known each other for 10 years yet, like with that person you're bringing in or whoever's bringing them in. I think kind of that non-combative strategy of finding a way to kind of use your social skills to steer conversations, and things will kind of build with experience, and just like letting things kind of passively flow. And if a situation ever becomes a little like heated or things like that, like knowing when it's okay to maybe pull them aside. But most of the time, based on the situation that you're talking about, I think that it can just be as simple as, we're going to try to hang out with this person a little bit at a time. But if you don't want to invite them to every single thing, that's okay. Like, because it also can depend on if you're talking about in a Discord server versus going to McDonald's versus going to like the movies. Like, but we're in a plague right now, so you're probably talking about online calls.
Online. I was assuming Discord. Like, because I know like for us now it's like it's very much a Discord thing, and then like we usually like, honestly, like if the way to like sort of read the room with us, if like someone's just like talking, because like we all are very respectful of each other's opinions, and we'll all give you like the room to talk, like that we're not like gonna ever over talk you. Just like, okay, well, if you have something to say it. But like there are some times where we do realize like, okay, this person's just in their world. So what we kind of do is like we just all sort of just do quiet stuff, like we'll like mute our mics and like go do something while let them do their thing, or like, and then maybe talk to them later about it. But sometimes it's just, yeah, dude, just it's very much a whole situation of just very much reading the room sort of thing, I guess, on like a topic that's just like, okay, yeah, I noticed when I brought this topic up, like, as Katie always mentions, check out, feel the energy, like notice the energy is just like, yeah, once that energy was brought, it's just like, okay, this is here, whatever. So yeah, just keep that in mind with it. Just keep that in mind with it. And then I would suggest to you to just like pull your friend aside and like, again, like Katie said, don't be overly like a bitch. Now you listen up here. I'm trying to tell you something. I brought you into this group, and I damn sure could take you. Don't be like that. Yeah. Just be like, hey, all right, so first off, I love you, but every now and then you'll like get into these little things where you overtalk on certain things, and I get you're passionate about it, and we respect you and love you and stuff like that, but it's just like every now we want to move on to something else, and you'll still be like bringing it up, and it's just it really brings down the energy for the day, and we don't want that. So all right, could you get that? Like this, when we hang out with each other, we're all just trying to chill and relax. We don't want like this sort of energy pulling our stuff down. All right, you want to get started?
Yeah, and in online spaces too, one thing that's also okay to keep in mind is that you don't have to have a giant server that just has all of like your friends in it, and so everyone can see when anyone is talking. That's one option you can do once you get like more close knit with certain people. But one thing that I've done is I'm a part of a lot of different Discord servers, and I have a lot of different people that I hang with. And so if you kind of create maybe little private chats with people that you definitely know, like, that you're cool with, like, because I have like a little private chat that me and like 4 other friends that like to talk about certain anime have, and so we'll go in there and talk sometimes about that, versus I go into like Jordan and them server, and like we can all hang in there. But sometimes if like Jordan and Saber want to call each other up and just spend time together without it being like a thing in their public server thing, then they can do that. And if you're really friends with people, like, they're not going to be really angry at you, like, wow, you hung out with Saber without me. It's like, well, yeah, because that's what friendship is, like learning to let go and be like, hey, people are going to hang out with other people without you, and that's okay, as long as you understand that they do still want to make time for you, just like you'll try to make time for them. Because when you're an adult, yeah, like,
it's like every time Katie is like, she left us again, she abandoned us. We make those jokes every fucking. She abandoned us every day of the week. She abandoned us. We make those jokes every time.
I love it. I'm sorry.
She left us. Haley always goes that freaking like, she left us from Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah, like, because also just being able to accept that, like, over time, like sometimes people might be more busy, and sometimes there might be a time during the week where it's like, oh my gosh, like we're hanging out all the time, and not letting it get to you if somebody can't hang out as much, or if somebody wants to hang out more and you have to say, look, I've got some stuff going on.
You need a friend break. Friends are in good in doses. Or there are certain friends that are good in doses.
Not even necessarily like a full like break, like you don't have to phrase it like that, but just like, hey, like I'm really busy this week, but if you care about this person, you'll make time. So you can be like, hey, how about next week we plan to watch some anime together? We'll figure it out once you get your work schedule, and we'll do it.
What if we like don't talk to each other for 1 month just to see how much we miss each other?
I mean, sure, you can.
Okay,
do that
sure,
with
you want
too.
to? Okay, Katie,
no, I don't want
fine,
to. I couldn't
fine.
do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't do it. We have to watch our ducks together.
Exactly.
Like, cause I've talked to friends before that, like, the more you try to hold on, or the more you try to, like, the more you let go, the more power that you have. The more that the people in your life are there because you want them to be, and you want to, like, have just this fun, enjoyable time with them, and it doesn't have to be this full-out, consistently scheduled thing. It's just, like, you can kind of vibe. Like, sometimes you schedule, but sometimes you can just kind of, like, hit them up. That's where you want to be. And so if you ever, for example, like, because I had a friend that this actually happened to her, and while it sucks, like, it's also happened to me. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, I had a friend that I really wanted to, like, hang out with more, and I would hit her up and be like, hey, I'd love to, like, watch a show with you, and she'd be like, oh yeah, like, we'll do that sometime, but we would never be able to really schedule it. But then I would hear from someone that she was, like, watching some anime with someone else, and if your reaction is, wow, how could they? That person lied to me, and they said, like, that's not a good place to be. You don't want to be there, because everyone's their own.
Well, fuck you then, Katie. Fuck this. Fuck this whole thing. Fuck
and
yeah,
and
it
doesn't have anything. Hold on, let me finish.
Do the podcast yourself.
It doesn't have anything to do with like you or them. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong with your relationship. It just means that, like, you know, they might want to go watch something with somebody else right now, and then you guys can watch something later or hang out later. Like, people are going to have different types of relationships that are different, like, levels or, you know, different amounts of time they spend together, but you might still have an even better relationship even if you don't talk as much. So, like, just learning to kind of let go and let people do what they want to do and never make someone feel pressured into, like, a situation, like, that's like the best place to be. And so, yeah, if for example, this person, you're like maybe wanting to hang out with them a little less, like just letting them know, like, hey, you know, maybe we can schedule some time to hang out soon, but, you know, for now I'm kind of just like really busy doing stuff. And their reaction is going to tell you more about, you know, that friendship than hanging out with them might. Because, like, sometimes it just happens that way, and you just have to be able to roll with the punches. And the more you let go, the more control that you have. And it's a great place to be when you just feel like whatever happens to you, you'll be fine. Because you can't control what happens to you. You can only control your reaction to it. And the more you just let people do what they want to do, the more times they're going to come back to you and want to hang out with you. Hell yeah.
Besides me. You are now banished. So anyways, listen to me. I'm the cool one. So anyways, like, it's like when you let go of your energy, then you will have like more power over the situation. I said that first. So anyways, what you do is you get like a bungee. Imagine there's like a bungee cord, right? And this person, they're trying to get power, right? Because you have like a bungee cord around yourself. They have a bungee cord around themselves. And so they're letting go. And so now it's all loosey-goosey, and now they're leading the way. And it's like, oh, crap, this person's leading the way. So I'm going to let go too. But you know what happens then? You both feel good because you're letting go, and now you're both hanging. And it's just like, we're just chilling on my little elastic. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyways, listen to whatever that one said. You're good. You'll be fine.
Hell yeah. Well, all right, let's get to our next question.
Yes.
I'll go back to one of the ones I got from the email. It says, Hi, Jackson Katie. I'm almost done with my GE at my community college, and I plan to transfer to university. My university choices are all far from where I live. I know I'll be extremely homesick, nervous, and filled with social anxiety living on my own, being around new people in a new area. Did you guys experience the same? How do you adjust living or being in a new environment? What was it like for you guys transitioning into being adult and being more independent? Any advice is appreciated. Thanks for the help. And stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
This is a different question from the world we live in now versus the world we used to live in. Because college schools now are online. Pretty much. So it's kind of like, I mean, because Jordan, did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to college. That's why I got my degree in health and exercise and fitness science.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, because I had the full like college experience, you know, to a degree of. I started in community college and I lived at home for that. But then when I went to my 4-year after community college, I lived in an apartment there for a few years.
Nice.
And so and so I really liked that. I liked kind of being on my own there and kind of. I wasn't too far from my parents' place, though. I was maybe less than an hour drive away. So if I needed them, I could go there. But it was a nice way to kind of sample, you know, a little bit more independence. And yeah, I honestly think it was really a good time and a good way to kind of get away. And like, it really made me focus on like the friendships that I had and like doing a lot more with my online friends. And yeah, I think one piece of advice I'd give if you're having to like kind of adjust and move away is I think making sure that you do still have foundations and connections with whether it's people online or where you're going, you have a point of reference of like someone that you know, because that just makes things easier, and you at least have a clear goal in mind of why you're going to this place. But if you're just like, you know what, fuck it, I just want to start over, like that's cool, but at least know that you have somewhere you can return to. Like making those little, like just, they help your peace of mind. And yeah, I guess me transitioning into being an adult, one thing I've learned, and I guess a piece of advice I'd give is as often as you can, don't let time make a decision for you. try to be as proactive as you can in the choices you're making. Otherwise, you'll hit a wall, and then you'll have no choice but to do what time is telling you to do. So, like, for example, if there's rent that needs to be paid, if you can pay it as early as you can, cool. Or hold on, what's a better thing? Like for example, if you're like, heck, I really want to get a day job. Cool. And so you're like, all right, I have 2 months to try and get a day job. Or my parents are going to be like, hey, we need you to go work at McDonald's. And you're like, oh man, I don't want to work at McDonald's, so I'm going to work my butt off to get a day job. So if the minute they say that, if you start applying to places, hopefully in that 2 months, you'll get some job interviews for somewhere that isn't McDonald's. And then you'll do that. It'll be great. But if, you put it off, and then it's a week until the deadline of when your parents are like, oh, you got to work at McDonald's, then it's like, fuck, there's not enough time for me to actually get like a job. So time made a decision for you. You had all that time to be applying to these other places, but because you didn't, now you're stuck working at McDonald's. And there's obviously different life situations that can happen, but that's one example of how time can sometimes creep up on you and force you into a decision when you might have been able to focus on a different decision if you would have put some thought into it. And that can apply to so many types of situations too that I can't even think of on the top of my head, but we've all dealt with it where like you'll be kind of sitting and like, one thing is like, if I have an audition to do and I know when the deadline is like the 20th and today's like the 10th. Okay. I have all 10 days to find a day to do that audition and do it like on my own time. Now, if I wait until the 19th and there's 2 hours until the deadline, right, and I really wanted to watch like the new episode of Ruby or something with my friends and go hang out with them, then it's like, well, now time is making the decision for me. I can either lose this opportunity and go hang out with my friends when I could have been hanging out with my friends if I would have just done this audition ahead of time. So now these 2 hours that I could be spending hanging out with my friends doing this fun thing, I need to, if I want to be responsible, I need to do this audition right now. And so it's better to be proactive about your choices and not wait until the last minute. Otherwise, time makes a decision for you. And sometimes it creates a sloppier result. Yes. Well said. So that's a good adult lesson to learn. And sometimes it's okay to let time make some decisions. Sometimes it's fine because you're busy and life will happen. It's like you get home and you want dinner and you're just like, oh, I'm so hungry.
I want McDonald's spicy chicken nuggets.
Yeah, or I'll just put this microwave dinner in because it's more time efficient versus if you would have like
cooked earlier for your dinner.
Yeah, if you would have cooked earlier, you would have had it when you wanted it. But those are things that it's okay. But when it comes to bigger life stuff, try to be more proactive and don't let life make those decisions for you. That's a big adult lesson right there.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess with online classes in particular, because that's probably what you're going to be experiencing, I don't have any advice in that area. So you're probably going to be able to live at home if you're doing those classes. But if you do still have to like do the full moving out thing, I guess just follow the previous advice of, really try to have like some good established relationships and have clear goals that you're trying to meet. Because otherwise it's going to feel like you're just kind of walking through time and not really heading anywhere. And that's a sucky feeling. Like,
right.
Yeah. So try to have maybe a journal where you write stuff down or you write down like some things that you're trying to accomplish and have like people or relationships that you can like depend on. And if you don't super have those yet, try to find situations where you can maybe meet those people. Put yourself out there.
Exactly.
Because people and goals, chasing skill, chasing goals, and loving people, those are the things that make life worth living. And make adulting easier.
Yes.
I guess, what about you transitioning into adulthood, Jordan? Do you have any advice about stuff like that?
I see. Like, the thing with me is, like, I'm in a very state where, like, I can go anytime I want. And then, like, there are times I will go places by myself for long periods of time and be by myself for long periods of time. Like, just fly somewhere and just, like, oh, I rented this hotel for a week. It just got that can or something like that. But I haven't really, like, moved out per se. I haven't gone like, oh, I'm like living away for a while. Like if I want to, I can. And then like what I'll do is like I'll just go, like I said, live in a hotel or motel or whatever by myself for a week. And it's like cool for a week because it's like, oh yeah, I can do all this stuff by myself. I have all the adult things and all the adult money I can. But yeah, like I haven't transitioned from that yet. Like it probably will happen sometime down the line, like when I feel like I know where I want to go. But for the most part, I'm just sort of just vibing. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Are there any things, I guess, because your location doesn't necessarily determine whether or not you're an adult. Like, are there any pieces of advice or any things that you've noticed have changed now that you've become a little more independent? You know, like, because you are in a place where you can travel more. You could go off and do things on your own, which is a very adult thing. Mm-hmm. Like, are there any pieces of advice or any perspectives that mindset has given you that you think you could pass on to somebody?
My piece of advice that I say is pretty much just keep working hard, enjoy your time. Don't let your youth slip away while like doing stuff like all the time. Like, cause I know there's a bunch of like, there's this dividend where like you're divide between like, oh, I have to work all the time versus I can't play because like I keep watching all these people are like, oh, my friends went out to parties and I stayed home and I worked and now I'm the CEO of a 6-figure company and now I do this and that and now they're asking me for jobs and stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, well, like I really depend what you want. Like map out your goals. Like map out your goals. What do you want for yourself? Like I do want to be like, oh, I want to after this be able to do that. I'm going to work towards that. I want to do that. Like, so for example, for me, I worked every day at Burger King full time while also going to college full time and then training people on the side. And then doing YouTube is just like a small thing. And then 2016, after 6 years, like on and off again, doing YouTube, stuff like that, it finally blew up for me. So I was able to like quit my job and then do YouTube full time and then like start training more people and have like more income. And then like at the end of 2017, I met someone that was allowing me to like do it. I knew exactly what I wanted for myself, even though it was miles and miles away from myself. And I worked my ass off to get where I am today. So that's how I always look at it. It's just like, know what you want for yourself and then just be like, I am going to grind my ass off no matter what it takes to get there, but I'm not going to forget to live my life along the way. I'm going to like do stuff like, cause again, like you're that age like once in your life. So enjoy it. Enjoy that time. Enjoy your time. Like one night out, do something like that is going to help you. Like make sure you get stuff done. Get a calendar that'll help you, like a work calendar. They'll be like, okay, I need to get this done by this date. And then like have a little Pomodoro session. That's what Pomodoro session. It's this session where you if you go on YouTube and type in Pomodoro, there are these cool things where what they do is people will work for 30 minutes and then they'll take a break for like 10 minutes and then they work for 30 minutes and take a break for 10 minutes and then like or 5 minutes or something like that. And then it's very cathartic. It helps me get a lot of work done because you just follow along with a person. Like it's not like you're doing exactly what they're doing. It's just like, oh, if I have to type on the computer, I can do this. Oh, I have to write a paper, I'll do this. But then it's just like, oh, I did it for 30 minutes. Now I take a break, 10 minutes. And then like the videos are like 3 hours long. And then like when the day is done, it's like, oh shit, I got most of the work done for the day. That's pretty freaking rad. I got most of the stuff I can accomplish now. Like that's how what I've been doing to accomplish a lot of work these days. I've been doing like a lot of Pomodoro stuff, just being like, hey, if I can get this done, then this done, this done, this done, I can be able to do that. So I just suggest Pomodoros. Figure out what exactly you want for yourself specifically. Like, oh, I have to study. I got to do this. I got to do that. But I also want to hang with friends. Do that. And then just, take your time, build up. You'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
That's from Old Man Jack's, please.
From Old Man Jack's.
Yes, Old Man River.
Well, all right. Let's see. How about we go to one of your questions?
Okay, yeah. What was my second question? Hey there. This comes from Wesley. What is a show that you absolutely love but realized once you removed your nostalgia goggles it wasn't as great as you remember? Wesley. Oh, there's so many. There's so many shows that you can do that with. Like, I actually mentioned this because I think we got this question on the POS podcast last week too. But it's like there are certain shows where it's like, okay, for example, I'll say this: Dragon Ball OG Dragon Ball is a timeless classic. No matter who you are, if you watch that, that is a timeless classic. You can watch that at any age, and it's still great. It's still fucking chef's kiss. Dragon Ball Z, on the other hand, there's a lot of stuff as an adult where you're like, wait a second. That makes no sense, whatever. And then, like, there are other shows like that, too, like freaking Naruto. If you're not watching Naruto Kai, which I recommend, Naruto Kai is how you watch Naruto without all the filler and padding. But, like, if you watch Naruto, like, go and watch Naruto. Like, the pacing in certain episodes is so bad. Like, there was an episode where freaking, like, Orochimaru and Naruto just stared at each other for 20 minutes on a bridge. It was just like 20 minutes on a bridge, and it was just like, what the hell? Like, their shows, My Hero Academia and all these other shows has like ruined those long-term things for me. But like, there are just so many series that like I noticed a lot of people love. Like, actually, someone mentioned this the other day. Oh, you know what? I said this on Twitter, and I say it again. Nostalgia is the strongest form of genjutsu. Infinite Tsukiyomi has no shit on nostalgia. Because you'll be like, yo, that show is the greatest freaking show ever. Yeah. Really? You love that show that much? Yeah, dude, that show is fucking awesome. Have you watched it today? No, I haven't, but I remember that show being awesome. It's just like, okay.
Oh my God, yeah.
I have like countless shows like that. But like Street Sharks was like that. Extreme Dinosaurs was like that. There's certain shows that like are really good that like still hold up. Like, cause the way I like look at my shows now is just like, does it still hold up, or am I just like nostalgically I'm in love with this? Like, for instance, there are some DBZ things, like DBZ, I love DBZ, but like I will heavily admit there's a ton of nostalgia bias there. There's a ton of nostalgia bias with DBZ. OG Dragon Ball, no nostalgia bias, just I love it. With my nostalgia goggles on or off. But then like Rocket Power, nostalgia goggles on, fucking love it. Nostalgia goggles off, oh boy. It's just like
yeah, I think there are lots of shows that still give me the same like fun feeling, but they maybe don't hit quite the same anymore. Like, because I think Naruto and Bleach, I grew up like reading them and obsessing over them, and I do still get kind of the same, like when I watch certain episodes, the same like emotional response and feeling. But then there's lots of other episodes that used to get that from me that I'm like, this is actually kind of silly. But it's okay, because I think that the entertainment value for shows like that have just transitioned to a new place. So I wouldn't like go down in history being like, oh my God, this show was like
the greatest fucking show ever.
Yeah.
It's like that video. It's like Dragon Ball. It was like Naruto is the greatest fucking anime of all time. That shit's better than Jesus and all that shit. It's just the greatest thing ever. And it's just like, where do you people come? And then like the person came out next and was like, Dragon Ball Z is the greatest motherfucking anime in the motherfucking world. Where do you niggas keep coming from? Fuck Naruto, fuck you.
I love that. I know what you're talking about. And like, and another so one much. Too. Oh my God, is like anything from Rumiko Takahashi. Like, it's a very specific style, and the entertainment value is consistent because you know what you're getting into. But like the way I used to think about Inuyasha versus the way I think about it now has changed a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I think that I used to think like a little more like, oh man, this is like how the world's gotta be, versus now it's like, okay, this is clearly just all very, exaggerated, fun, silly, slapstick hijinks, which is cool and great, and like I enjoy it, and I don't think the entertainment value of those shows has gone down for me. I think if I'm ever watching it, I'm going to have a good time. And a big element of that is nostalgia, but also the people that also experience that with me, and kind of the community of people that enjoy it.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think that I think I can still enjoy a show, maybe more so, even though I don't look at it in the same light. So it might not hold up in certain ways. It still brings me a joy that's consistent. Like Ranma 1/2 is a show that is very like, if you wrote that today, it wouldn't probably bode well, but I still enjoy it.
No, exactly. That's like the whole purpose of nostalgia goggles. Like, it's just like you look back on shows with like fond memories. It's like you put them on and it gives you a feeling of joy and love that you're like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. And then if you take them off and you just go, okay, yeah, I can see that. I'm going to put my nostalgia goggles back on and get my joy and love. Like, that is completely that. Like, it's like watching the old Pokemon dub. Like there's a lot of cheesy stuff. Like watching Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh. If you watch those dubs, like there's a lot of corny dialogue, but they are still enjoyable just because it's like, okay, this shit is funny.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Like, I've got my nostalgia goggles
best.
on. I'm enjoying the fuck out of this shit. But like if I was trying to be like a serious critic or something like that, it'd be like, oh, the dialogue is terrible. But you don't mind that because it's just like I'm having a good time. I'm having a fucking blast. Game on, get your game on.
I think those are.
Did you know that fucking Kaiba voiced Brock?
What?
I did not know that shit till like Hero told me. And then like I couldn't unhear it. Like Kaiba is voiced by Brock from Pokemon. And I was like, holy fuck, are you serious? And then like I went and listened to it and I was like, oh my god, it is the same voice. I never noticed that until like last week.
Oh my god.
I had no fucking clue. And they were doing similar voices. I don't know why I never put it together. Oh god. That's crazy.
Oh my god, that's great. I had no idea.
You didn't know either?
I didn't.
Yeah, if you like listen to it, it's just like, wow, it's the Dweeb Patrol. And it's just like, okay, whatever, Kaiba. But then you go like watch
Brock.
Like Brock is like, I'm taking my freshie frying pan and make a drying pan. And it's like, oh my god. They are the same voice. And it's just, I've never noticed that before. I never ever. It took
that makes me
2
so
years.
Happy.
Now I wonder who voiced Joey.
Oh
yeah,
god.
you, come on.
Hey, you, come on.
I got a New York accent, even though I'm from Japan.
Oh my god, I love it. Well, I think that might actually be a good place to end, and I think we can save this next question for the next episode.
Oh, what was the next one? Oh, yeah, whatever.
It was just one from, like, the email, so I'll just, like, put it right there. Well, heck yeah.
Game on.
Come on, you gotta play your cards right.
All right.
Come on, get your game on. Wow. Oh, hell yeah. Well, this was a fun episode. I hope that any of this randomly helped you out, my dudes. We love talking about stuff and giving advice and stuff. Jordan, where can they find you? You
can find me on Facebook at Jordan Jacksblade Downs. You can find me on YouTube at Jacksblade, Instagram, Jacksblade, Twitter, Jacksblade Fitness. Do not look up Jacksblade with a, I'm not going to say it because, did I tell you about this? There's this dude called with the name Jacksblade. And it's like, all he does is just like, it's this guy just jacking off all the time. And he's just like a big buff black guy too.
There's no way.
So like this guy, like the reason I found out about it was because someone was saying, it's like, no, Jacksblade's freaking awesome, dude. Like he like gives a great, and they tagged that other guy. And then he was like, oh wait, that's the wrong one. I meant this one. And I was like, what the fuck? And then there's this guy, and he's just like beating his meat. And I'm just like, oh my God. Why?
I love it, and I hope that's...
Yeah, and it's just like, why would you choose that name specifically? Why?
Because they want to.
Like, what is with you? It's like, dude. But yeah, you can find me there. Don't look up that one. Look up me, Jacksblade Fitness, and then you can find me on Jacksblade Tumblr if we still use that, and you can find me in your heart and soul, but don't be weird about it. And you can find Katie at Connie Day Official on Twitter. You can find her at Connie Day Cosplay on Facebook. You can find her at Connie Day on YouTube. You can find her at Connie Day Official on Instagram. You can find her at this address now because I'm going to be evil. Fuck you.
Oh my God. Yeah, you can find me there. Also, Kruby Productions, KRWBY Productions. You can follow us on Twitter at RWBYABRG and on the YouTubes at Kruby Productions. And then, of course, this podcast, you can email us at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com. You can join our Patreon, Weird Flex But Okay Podcast Patreon. And you can follow us on Twitter at WeirdFlexPod. Yay!
Yay!
We did it!
We did it. How many email?
We did it. Also, Joe Biden's president.
Yeah, he is.
Sort of.
Suck it, Trump.
We're getting there. We're making it happen. But he won. Suck a dick. Woo!
Yeah, suck it.
Woo!
Woo! Have a good one, y'all.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.